Freelancing is definitely on the rise now that technology allows us to work and be actually productive working from anywhere we want. A lot of people choose the freelance lifestyle to be their own boss, manage their own hours, work from wherever they want. And for me personally, I've been doing this full time for 4 years now. It's been super wonderful. And one of the most common questions I ask is, how do you get started? How do you find clients? So this is what I want to discuss today.
A Philippine podcast show dedicated to help you thrive for greatness.
This guy is phenomenally passionate about what he does.
How freaking amazing Jameer is. So skilled and so qualified, and I highly recommend him.
Without a doubt, the best funnel builder I've ever come across.
Yeah, really into the detail and cannot recommend him highly enough.
Not only was efficient and fast, but he understood the project.
The person who built our entire funnel from beginning to end and has been with us since day one is Jameer.
Nothing But Up, the podcast, with your host, Jameer Angelo.
I'm always flexing.
Welcome to the podcast. This is Jameer Angelo, your host for Nothing But Up, the podcast. And what is up, you guys? This is episode number 26, and coming to you live here from a simple home office in the province of South Cotabato. And yet, this is another interesting topic that we'll be talking today. And I am truly left all alone for you in today's episode. And why not, right? I mean, seriously. Last episode, though, was by far the most listened and downloaded episode ever. And I think it's been around for like 7 days now since we released it last week, Saturday. And because of that, I really appreciate all of you for the full-on support that you're showing for our show. And yes, interestingly enough, I got some DMs and messages over asking me, how the hell did I do it? How did I start? Right? How did I manage to charge so high and close deals? And how I became successful with freelancing. Well, for many people, I mean, success is somewhat materialistic. And we may hate to admit it, but that is definitely true. I mean, having to own some cars, big house, a well-paying job. For others, success is, also measured differently. And for some, it's measured, by things like, their family and friends. And many people see success only in the form of tangible things. Too many people, and I guess, more than the average, success is a destination for some. But for me, to tell you honestly, it is definitely not a destination, though. Success is a continuous process. There is never a point where you can reach your limit or completely fulfill your potential. You can also improve and strive even more to do better. You can always have the money, house, cars, but I think what's bigger for me and what is really important is having the character, the character of always aiming to improve every single day in our lives. So how do you improve yourself and your success, as how you may define it? Well, as what I mentioned, improving your success is a definite process, right? Day by day, you can improve little by little. And also, it doesn't really happen overnight, guys. I tell you that. And you will probably never feel completely successful. You may also want more, especially if you measure success in terms of material stuff. When you measure success with, material stuff, you will be kept hungry and you will never be satisfied. But when you measure, and again, if you measure success with materials, it makes you compare what you have with what others have. And with that, society think is the best. However, this doesn't necessarily mean that having the nice things in the world is wrong, right? Instead, I mean to say that you shouldn't define your success solely by the tangible things you have acquired throughout your entire life. Just as importantly, you shouldn't measure your success by some goal and you end up hitting them. You may end up feeling unsuccessful because you have allowed yourself to revert back to the life of mediocrity. Now, when you do this, you stop trying to improve and achieve higher for yourself simply because you feel momentarily satisfied. And I always see that with, some of the people around me, that tends to do that. And I can cite some examples, but if I'm going to spill it out, tons of people might come into my house and probably kill me. So I wouldn't do that. I would probably not jeopardize myself and my family. But just as failure doesn't become real until you quit, though. Success isn't really unless you keep moving forward. And guys, speaking of moving forward, we'll go and talk about how anyone can start freelancing with zero experience the right way. And guys, I really couldn't stress it enough, the right way. Because if you're probably someone like me, it's just that my nature to be, as resourceful as I can be before I go ask something or anything to anyone. And when you go through, let's say, Google, YouTube, social media sites online, trying to find for the fastest and easiest way to work from home and to start working as a freelancer, you will be blown by the amount of information that you can literally see online. And I'm telling you guys, 90% of the time, you'll see crappy tips and advice that for me is so fucking generic. Why am I telling you all of this? It's because later I found out that after researching and, implementing the tips and tricks I saw online, when I started way back 2012, I had little to zero success starting out. And, applying and trying to land my first ever client was so fucking tough. Seriously. And I fucking regret it. If I had this, a medium like this, this podcast show, or maybe, the information I took way back 2012 was way more old than, advanced compared to what we guys are looking now at year 2021. And what am I about to share with you today is perhaps, I'd say, the most I'm giving away in this podcast. That's right. It's because if you will follow this closely, I see no reason why you won't be able to finally land your first client and close more opportunities for yourself. And it is important that it is important to know that this tips I'm about to spill out right now, you really can find this elsewhere. Why? Because most successful freelancers are afraid to share their best practices. And perhaps, the not so best practices in play and getting it out in the open because of two main reasons, right? Number one, it's literally because of the competition. And two, most successful freelancers own online courses that teach this inside their courses. And giving it away for free hurts them and their business. But today, fuck it, guys. I'm gonna share every possible thing to you that you need to know on how you'd be able to start freelancing with zero experience. I guess, again, you heard it right. Zero experience the right way. But before we get cranking, guys, let's try and hear a word from our sponsor.
As they say, food takes people to places. So during these crazy times, one can take his taste buds on a trip to Western Visayas by trying out one of its specialties. If you've ever been to Negros Occidental, you may have already tried its famous comfort food, Cansi. It's a dish made with slow-cooked beef shanks and deep sour broth soup. Bacolod City is particularly famous for Cansi. It's an iconic Ilonggo dish that is now available in Cebu. Good news for Cebuanos. You can now indulge with a bowl or two of Cansi in Cebu. Introducing Cole's Cansi. Located in the heart of Cebu. Open to serve you daily. To order, visit and message them on Facebook. Satisfy your craving and relieve that stress away. Cole's Cansi, an iconic Ilonggo dish that is now available in Cebu.
I'm always flexing.
And yes, we're back. This is Nothing But Up, the podcast, episode 26, you guys. And before we go dive right into our topic today, just want to throw some shout outs to my previous office mate in Cebu years ago, Ms. Jessie Green. Gets so inspired by your words and with your comment on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for that. This one is for you. Shout out to my main man, Dave Mutter of COA, Clients and Automation in Champions Academy, based in the UK. Bro, I appreciate the love and, the support you've given me. I've been working with Dave, guys. He's my client based in the UK for a little over 2 years now. And you can actually hear his voice in this podcast intro. I shot for you. And again, bro, thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you for the trust. Looking forward to more years working with you. And I guess lastly, shout out to my main man, Alex Padron of Stories After Swipe Right and NYC Manila Speaker Summit. I got your video, bro. Shout out again to you, my brother. So freaking love it. And by the way, before I forget, I would like to really, give my sincerest appreciation to you, man, for even considering me to be one of the speakers for the coming NYC Manila Speaker Summit happening very soon. And I'll be possibly covering or topics about, freelancing and sales. So it's going to be an honor to hang out on your Speaker Summit, bro. Again, thank you so much for considering me. And just send me over the details soon. And I'm pretty sure, man, that it's going to be a blast. And I think, what did I miss? Finally, to everybody that has left their rating and feedback on Apple Podcast, thank you so much. If you haven't left a feedback yet, guys, and a rating for the show, and also if you are an iPhone user, please drop a rating for a show. Just go search Nothing But Up the Podcast on Apple Podcast. Leave your review and your rating. Take a screenshot of it. Just email it over to me. The email is funnelexpert.ph@gmail.com, and I'll send you your merch. Something like this I'm wearing right now. So again, we got some t-shirts, we got some jerseys for you, and I don't know what happened with the caps. It hasn't arrived yet, so we're going to be waiting for that. But again, congratulations to everybody that has messaged me for to grab the opportunity to get our merch. We got David Blur, Elena Kimbrough, Tim Hyatt, and Rex Garcia. So guys, I responded to your emails. Just please send out your addresses soon, when you get a chance, so I can go ahead and ship, these t-shirts away to you. So again, thank you so much for the ratings once again. So anyway, enough about that. So let's go and talk about our topic today, guys. So today I've literally prepared 5 tips, and I personally could vet that, this all made wonders for me and led me to become successful in freelancing. But just a little disclaimer, you guys, what worked for me might not work for you. Okay? You have to understand that each of us has, different styles, different approaches, and even different personalities. Okay? But somehow you can consider this as a shortcut that you can take if you are dead serious about freelancing. And for sure, I'm not throwing out any guarantees here at all, guys, but because we are all different, okay? We are on different sides of our lives, and I don't know your shit personally, okay? However, I can honestly say that if you follow this closely, you'll end up achieving your dreams of becoming a freelancer in as little as no time, right? So let's dive right in. The first one I want to tell you about. To be successful in freelancing, you need to know your fucking goals. That's the first thing you need to do. Why? Few things, okay? And yes, exactly, you heard it right. Start with your goals, okay? Why are you considering working from home? Why do you want to venture in this field? Why are you so interested to know about this? Is this because you came across someone and saw how much he earned? Or probably because of the pandemic, you got laid off, you get nothing to do. You want to make a living, right? There are tons of couple reasons that could be the cause or the reason why you're looking into or aspiring to become a freelancer and to begin working from home, okay? Weigh those shit up. Because if you don't, and if you sound unsure, you'll end up losing. Okay, and perhaps lose an existing career that you may already have, or worst, have nothing at all. Okay? Guys, don't be blinded by the amount of success stories that you hear or see online, okay? Success stories from freelancers having to dominate the game and right in their peak. Because each of those successful freelancers, you don't know their real story behind, right? All you see are the beautiful things that they flex online and everything about them. You don't know the shit they went through when they all started. Okay? And guys, to give you a little backstory, and this is something about myself in my freelancing journey, and I'm really hoping that you'll get something from this. Well, the story is hell. And I think the best word to describe it is challenging. It was. So if you've been following, the podcast, I shared some of my stories about, my professional career already. But when I decided to go freelancing, I never had a single idea what the fuck it even means. Seriously. I moved here from Cebu City to South Cotabato, equipped with a few thousand pesos in our pockets, and just my brain, my passion, and my dick. Okay? It's just that I had the balls to do it. Okay, but it was a tough decision, to tell you honestly. It was a family decision to move out here in the hopes of having to settle for good and to practically save, right? But we ended up having no money in a matter of 6 months, right? So my wife, Macy and I, we decided to apply for jobs here. We went looking for BPO companies in Coronadal City, which is just right about a few kilometers from where we're living. But sadly, the city that time, way back 2012, it isn't, or it wasn't as progressive as compared right now, or even compared to Cebu City during those years. And you see, job opportunities were extremely low. But guys, I can only speak for myself because I'm a college dropout, right? Obviously, it is going to be tough for me to land a freaking job, perhaps even anywhere I go. So, long story short, we went home with nothing. Weeks passed. I was so desperate to really find a job. I even had this crazy idea to drive trikes or tricycle just to go by every day. I mean, with our daily expenses. The fucking thing was I held back in doing it because, for one, I don't have a driver's license during that time. And two, I don't know how to drive manual. So, and again, weeks passed, zero money. We were just so blessed that, Macy's mom and dad, nanay and tatay, were there strongly supporting us during those times, financially and emotionally wise. But as a man, I couldn't take seeing nothing for our family. And one night, Macy and I were seriously talking, how in the hell can we earn here? Like living in a province. And the closest city where possibly BPO companies was in Davao City. And that's like 4 hours away from here. And the time of commuting back and forth is like almost half the entire day. We'd have to live there and leave our son Memphis again. And probably even worse than that is that, when we were in Cebu, we can literally go home daily. So that's going to be a stupid decision if we were going to go and do that, here. Until one day, we spoke with Dave. Shout out to my good man, the owner of Cole's Cansi, Dave Maestro, our show sponsor. Well, Dave mentioned Odesk, and now it's called Upwork. So I was so intrigued by the idea of working from home and the concept of having to work right from where we're at. So the next day, I immediately tried to look for the old computer set I saw inside the other room in our house, and installed, asked tatay to install or apply for the internet through a wireless connection. And fast forward, I now have my first ever workstation inside my home. Again, 2012. The struggle was real, guys. I mean, the slowest fucking PC ever, to tell you honestly. The internet was so fast though, but it was still so shaky as it is not a wired connection. So I had to live with that. But it really didn't hold me back. I started researching and I was dedicated and really hopeful that I'll really get and land a job soon. But guess what? 3 months passed, still fucking nothing. Right? Like most of us will react, I was so fucking down. 2012 again, that was. Just couldn't get a break. Nothing. But then I realized I may be doing something wrong. It maybe has something to do with my portfolio. That's what I thought. My application letters or how I present myself during the interviews. And yes, those were the major things I did wrong. Right? I was really so comfortable in what I did best. I mean, prior to trying and doing freelancing, I had 8 long years as a call center agent for 2 BPO companies handling retention and sales. And that was my mistake, right? I was not open to other opportunities. I was comfortable with my previous skills and I was so scared to try out others. And that was literally my mistake. The next following week, guys, I tweaked my portfolio. I tweaked the jobs I applied and was carefully handpicking skills I think I could handle. And boom, I landed my first contract. So From doing calls and making sales for businesses to becoming a Facebook manager. Facebook manager, but not, the actual description as it says, where you run ads and manage Facebook ads. But I was the guy that responds to Facebook messages using my client's account and convincing people who are connecting with my client and messaging, my client to register for a webinar event, hosted every Monday and Tuesday. That was the type of Facebook manager I was, right? I worked for 40 hours in a week at $2.50. It's $2.50 per hour. So I was like earning 5,000 pesos, close to that per week. And that's like what, 20,000 pesos, 20 fucking grand per month. And that gig opened the doors for me. So you guys know your goals, right? My only goal during that time was to simply make it through during those tough times. And I stuck with those goals, right? And really, I really aimed passionately. I worked my ass off to get and achieve my goal. And this is the very first stage, right? This is the very first stage. And it is very crucial for you. Because, if you want to become a freelancer and work from home, you gotta need to know your goals, man. Define what are those. And if you are thinking twice as early as now, back the fuck out. This profession is not for everybody. Especially that all you're looking for is stability. This is absolutely not for you. You earn what you work for, motherfucker. You have no set salary or guaranteed earnings per month. You get paid by how hard and smart you fucking work and show up every day. You feel me? So think about it, right? Before even jumping into freelancing, think about it the moment those thoughts come into you and you're thinking twice now upon hearing this. Yeah, trust me, this isn't for you. Okay? Now, talking about working your ass hard and, being smart as you possibly can, this takes us to my second tip. The second one is to find a profitable niche. Okay? Now, this one, amongst any other tip everybody is giving away, this is the most accurate. Why? Well, today, more than ever, the competition is by the millions. I just don't know how to stress this even enough. If you look it up online, you will be blown by the numbers, right? Millions of freelancers from India, Bangladesh, Singapore, and guess what? Even countries like Australia, US, UK, and Canada. Guys, millions. So how the fuck can you stand out from highly competitive freelancers out there in the marketplace? How can you compete with top caliber freelancers? How can you be like them? Right? Those are the questions that you need to ask yourself. Okay? So again, let's move back to tip number 1. Know your fucking goals, right? If you're clear on this, then you are by now committed to enter the competitive world of freelancing. Referencing back to an episode I did, I think, with M. Villanueva of Stories After Swipe Right. I think that was episode 23. Look it up. We both agreed that freelancing is a skill economy. It is a skill economy. And again, this is perhaps the most solid tip I can give you. Okay? If you want to stand out from the competition and you are fucking decided about your goals and is now 100% decided and sold to the idea of doing freelancing, you have to find your niche. Okay? A niche that is highly profitable and could fast track your way in becoming a top paid freelancer. Okay? Guys, don't follow the shit I went through, man. I mean, I was so scared at first to try and venture to different skills and jobs because I was so damn afraid to fail. Right? I took but I took that chance that led me to earn six figures weekly now. And as what I said, I mean, you have the internet, you have Google, you have YouTube, you have this podcast show, you know, for example, as mediums for you to do good in trying to make your way into our industry. Okay? Look it up. Look for skills and a niche that will pay you top dollars. Okay? And again, I have nothing against VAs. Okay? I have nothing against people having to settle with, you know, where they are comfortable, because again, we are all different, guys, right? Much love and respect to all of the virtual assistants, especially here from our country. But to me, and I hope you will respect this, and just a personal opinion, if you think becoming a VA will open your doors to becoming a freelancer and to start working from home, and you feel is the best medium to tap at this day and age, I think that's a terrible decision to make. Maybe 10 years ago, yeah, I would agree with you. But right now, 2021, it's pretty much outdated. You see, let's try and take doctors as an example, okay? Now, these folks earn massively, guys, but can we generalize that all doctors earn high? That's a big no. It's because those who are paid top money and earning premium money are specialists, experts, right? From a targeted specific field. Okay? That analogy also applies to freelancing. You need to find a skill that you can potentially master and be good at, and in no time, you'll earn big. Right? Let me tell you, the skills and the niche I find to help you earn more and get high percentages of getting hired are the following. It could be programming and software development, social video editing, ghostwriting, copywriting, web designs, content writing, graphic designing, and of course, sales funnels, the exact same niche I'm in, and so much more. You're just gonna need to find something that you feel that you could crush and you would be able to perfect and master. Okay? You need to go take a look at it deeper. I mean, these are some of the niche that you can begin to research deeper, get to familiarize with, and see if eventually something you will be good at. Okay? Guys, never ever settle with, you know, where or what you're comfortable doing. Failing is uncomfortable. We could all agree to that. Success is even more uncomfortable. Right? Now, if the life that you have now is already uncomfortable, would it make sense to you that since being uncomfortable is the common barometer you see now, why don't you decide with which type of uncomfortable you'd rather have? You feel me? Right. Would you rather fail? Would you rather be successful? Right? Or would you rather step away from the life that you're in now? Right? All three are uncomfortable, right? You're just gonna need to pick which one you want to go ahead and do so. Right? So guys, think about this. And please, again, don't take this the wrong way. Okay? If you are dead serious about becoming a freelancer and truly sold to the idea of being one, then follow this too. Okay? I mean, working from home could be the fastest and quickest way. And again, becoming a VA could also be the fastest way for you, right? But trust my words on this. You will have millions of competition. The pay is extremely low. And when the pay is low, people tend to offer it to clients and lowball you even more. And that is human nature, my friend. Desperation. It will be extremely difficult for you to land a job because someone else is offering it at a low cost for clients, right? And if you're someone who has zero experience, what do you expect, right? No way in the world that you can charge high or charge premium unless you try to look for, high paying skills and then master it, right? As a newbie, your rate will now look as if it's low from the niche that you tap. Therefore, increasing your chances of getting hired fast and quickly, right? And again, earning big, right? So work smart, guys. Work smart. And going down here to the middle, which is, for me, would somehow tons of people might come message me over this one. It could literally get some negative feedback for some of my listeners, but I don't give a shit about that. Just want to spill it out to you. Third one is when to set up your workstation. Okay, for starters, this is the most common mistake, right? Knowing and timing when to set up your workstations, right? By setting up, I mean when to buy a laptop, a PC, or a Mac, right? Knowing when to install a solid internet provider or where to even position yourself, to work right in your home. And I hate to blast this out, guys. That is the stupidest thing you can possibly do. If that's the first thing you did. Why would you fucking invest enormous amount of money when you don't even have any fucking idea where to apply, how to apply, the scale to master, or the niche you'd love to dominate? Terrible decision. Okay? For starters, follow step 1 and 2. Know your goal, find a niche and a skill. The third one should be to playfully master your skill. Okay? Playfully master in the sense where every day you wake up applying the skill you chose and working your ass every freaking day. And note, this is with no pay. Okay? Of course, for obvious reasons, you don't have a client yet, so no one is literally paying you, right? So let's make myself an example. I want to elaborate this even more so you get the sense in it and you get to feel what I mean. So I never had any idea or even know how to operate a computer, right? This was years back. Worst was I don't even know how to open it, to be honest. Zero knowledge at all. And then this one time, this was way back 2006. I just really couldn't forget it. This was August 8, 2006. We competed for a dance competition there in my hometown in Sibonga. And, my friends could attest to this. We only bagged the second place award. And the reason why we lost, it was because of our audio, right? The audio quality was bad as shit during these times. Why? Because way back 2006, August 8, 2006, we were still using cassette tapes. As funny as that may sound. And that is literally true, right? We were still using cassette tapes. No, seriously. I was a choreographer for many years. In fact, I'd say probably half my life. But as great as I was as a dancer or choreographer, I was too old school. The frustration of losing led me to try and learn computers or operating it because of that freaking experience. I spent hours and hours on how to use and operate it. Went to a computer cafe every day to learn audio editing and remixing. Shout out to my homie, by the way, Jeb Dice. Jeb, thanks for the love, man. And again, appreciate you so much, for everything you've done for me. He taught me how to mix, cut audios, create killer beats, and then I mastered it. And in a matter of 2 months, I was able to produce killer mixes and dance routines. Fast forward, every fucking dance competition we joined, we killed them all, man. And then it led us to both having a new business venture. So dancers and choreographers in Cebu were looking to get our services and run mixes for them. And it was a good old 2 years of making good shit back then, making money. Those were like 120 pesos per mixes. And we're killing it during those times. And why is this relevant to this tip? It's because no matter how advanced or how expensive your computers are, it won't take you anywhere, right? It is the skill that sells. But it is your character that will hold you long enough in this field of what we call freelancing, right? It's because no matter how advanced, again, or how expensive your computers are, if you don't know how to use it, it is pointless. See what I mean? So if you are now even if I don't know, I'm torn between this because even if you don't have a computer, even if you don't have an internet, just trying to be resourceful, guys. Right? Be resourceful. Don't immediately invest in setting up fancy workstations and all those shit. I mean, what matters most is marketing or marketing the skill you have chosen and literally mastering it. And then when you have honed that skill over time, add it to your portfolio. And speaking of portfolio, that is the fourth tip. Get and work on your portfolio. Okay? It's time to set up your portfolio. And the big question is how? Okay? How can you build a portfolio if you don't have any experiences? You know nothing about freelancing. You know nothing at all, right? That is the most questions I receive almost every day, to tell you honestly. And I'm going to be answering that right now. Okay? There's a trick on how to do that. So first thing you need to do is you need to look for websites that are literally all about freelancing. Sites like Upwork, Online Jobs PH, Fiverr, and so much more. There's so many there in the market. Sign up and then create your account. Okay? Now, each of these sites requires you to put out your skill set. Okay? Your bio, your job experiences, your past experiences, you have one. Now, some freelancers out there are damn faking it, right? I don't fall to this trap. Why? Your credibility is at risk, okay? Fake it till you make it sometimes work for most or some people, but in general, it really ain't a good practice, and I'm not a big fan of it, okay? Fake it till you make it sometimes, again, work for most people, generally. But to really make sure you stand out, guys, I'll give you some tips, okay? Let's go ahead and talk first about, your bio, okay? Your bio represents you. It leaves an impression to the clients if, they come and bump to your account, saw you. If you are even worth it of spending, say, 30 minutes over Zoom talking to you, okay? Now, you need to write a bio that will showcase you as a person and the skills you chose. Make it punchy, make it short, and the best, you need to make it unique. Okay? It could go something between these lines, guys, and I want you to quote on this one. Okay? You have to say something between these lines, something that you write on your bio. Goes like this. Thanks for checking me out. First, I'd like you to click on the play video link below to get to know me deeper. I'm Jamir. I have been a funnel builder for 3 months. And I know that you might be wondering, why am I showcasing the short amount of time that I became a funnel builder compared to the years of experience you've probably seen from other funnel builders in the marketplace. It is because I stand ground to what I believe in. A person's skill can only take you to places. What will keep you up is your character. I have zero experience as far as working with clients as of yet, but I took so much passion and dedication in mastering this skill set. To stay true to what I say, please head over below so you can see samples of my work that I built from my own personal account. And then boom, that's it. Short, punchy, simple, and unique. Okay? Honest and extremely straightforward. This will capture clients' attention, you guys. They will be risking and willing to speak with you and to interview you because you've not written a make-believe bio, which, too good to be true, but you stayed credible and honest. And then, of course, I just picked funnel building as a skill, for example, as that is my field of expertise, okay? Don't ever fake your credentials, guys, because it will hunt you. It will literally hunt you, right? And going back to the video link I mentioned over in a sample bio I just stated, yes, it is part of the trick. The video is extremely important. Try and use Loom if you haven't heard of it. It's a Google Chrome plugin, or there is now an independent app that you can use that lets you to, record your screen, record both your screen and record yourself on screen as well. Okay, so that is something that you need to literally have. The idea of sending or showing a video link to your clients is literally part of the trick. Okay, the reason why is that it will increase your chances of getting noticed. Okay, it's because I found out that less freelancers are using this type of approach. On the video, you just need to introduce yourself, speak about your work experiences maybe, and showcase some of the work you've done from the skill you practiced and mastered. Okay, and this is the defining moment. So you are new, right? No experience, no client, no testimonials, nothing to back you up. How can you close a deal and sign a contract? Okay, it all boils down to your portfolio. So allocate time in testing what you write, test different variations of the copy, but stick to the general concept and principle of staying true and establishing credibility. Okay, then lastly, again, you are new, so you are in no position to demand for high pay yet. Okay, however, if you have already mastered your skill and practiced your ass off to finally say you're a badass in what you do, you'll have the confidence to show your work in your portfolio. Okay, so this means, let's say you are new to funnel building, for example. You want to position yourself as a funnel builder. Okay, normal rates for this, at least for the mid-level freelancers, this skill alone is right around $20 to $30 per hour. Okay, and since you are new, go ahead and try and start at maybe $10 an hour, for example. Okay, now you can literally see the amount of difference from the rate, right? 20 to 30 and you at 10. Okay, so if you put yourself in a client's position, right, and their state of mind, it is a no-brainer to take a chance on the person whom I've seen some samples of their work and I can see how credible the person is. You feel me? So again, guys, never fake your bio. Put a solid portfolio. And this is the trick on how you'd be able to start freelancing with having zero to as little as no experience doing freelancing. Okay? And the last tip, this is probably the most important one. The interview and close. Now, this shit is the scariest part, guys. Believe me. So if you're only making things up, like the portfolio you have written, the video you showed to your client, and the samples samples of your work you've placed, you are fucking doomed, my friend. Right? So if you haven't mastered your skill set, guys, never attempt to apply and get on an interview, because clients are smarter than you think. Right? They will be investing in you, so you need to respect that. Right? They would know all the terminologies used. They would know all the work used. So you are in deep shit if you're faking your portfolio, okay? So the only piece of advice that I could honestly give you when you are on this final stage, right, is, you're just going to have to stay true to yourself, right? You have to be true to yourself. As cliche as that may sound. The client will appreciate honesty, man, more than your skill or more than the work that you produce. Present yourself during the interview as candid and casual as you can. I mean, curse if you feel like doing so. Why not? I mean, you're not in a professional setting. Unless otherwise you're applying for a professional, position. I mean, it really doesn't matter, guys. You're working with international clients, so they don't mind that. Unless you're cursing the client, that's a different story there, right? So ask when you are unclear, whenever you're unclear with anything during the interview, right? Or something. And then leave an impression that you are a good listener and never cut off your client when they are talking. Those guys hit that shit. So, don't ever do that. And you need not to pretend that you have a cool office or whatever. Fuck it. I mean, I closed one of my biggest deals ever from our old, house before we renovated it. This was way back 2017. When I was still under construction, the noise was so loud and I was like cursing during the interview because of the dust flying around all over me and the noise, in the room. But I was just laughing at it. That led me to sign a deal worth $20,000 for a movie project. So, nothing is impossible. If the clients don't like it, then fuck it. That client isn't for you, right? As long as you're staying true to yourself and not pretending, you're good, man. You're good. So be yourself, and whatever the situation presents you, just go with it. Go with the flow. It won't kill you, man. It won't. And it will only cause stress over you. So, and I guess one thing to add maybe is to never try and go beyond 30 minutes for an interview. Okay? This means you need not to talk too long. Do not talk too much. Why? The client already initially vetted you over when they saw your profile, right? They're just simply there to confirm some stuff over to you, if you can certainly do the job they want, and then simply to meet you and see if you fit, right? So limit the time, because the more you speak, the more mistakes you'll make. And the more mistakes you'll make, the more screwed up the interview will be. And the more screwed up the interview will be, the lower chances of you not to be signing a contract. And when you don't sign a contract, you will go blame me or blame your coaches wherever you got your virtual assistant courses maybe, or courses that teaches you all this stuff. And it's literally all about you. So don't stress out, guys. I mean, just be yourself. Cut the interview short. Do not go more than 30 minutes. Make it simple and just don't talk too much. So answer straight up. And again, be real. And when it is time to end, close the fucking deal, right? And it could go between these lines, guys. Take note of this. All you're going to say is after the interview, or right when you sense that the conversation is ending, go ahead and say this. It goes something like this. Hey, client, I had a great time hanging out with you today. I sure do hope that we've covered everything there is that you need to know, especially need to know about me and the work that I do. And if you are ready to go, I am ready to go. Just set up the contract when you can, and I'd be happy and honored to accept it. When do you think you can send it through? Right? Just 2 sentences, guys. Maybe 3, right? 3 sentences. And always end with a question. And the reason why is that you need to seek for a micro commitment on the client's end, right? In our world, we call it call to action. Always. Okay? So guys, I hope you learned something from our episode today. Believe me, this stuff that I spilled over, you can't find it elsewhere, guys. Just literally can't. Okay? So just a quick recap. First thing, you gotta need to understand your goal, right? Understand your goal, know your goal. Secondly is to find a niche, find a skill. Third is that never to set up your workstation yet, but instead gotta need to work on your badass portfolio. Okay? First thing you need to do, set up an account, set up your bio, record a video, and then begin applying. Okay? It's the first thing you need to do. And when all is said and done, and if you just literally have the money to spend, then you can proceed in getting a workstation in your house for yourself. And finally, the last one, I think I missed out number 4, workstation, and then the interview and a close. So just do all those, guys. Follow everything I mentioned closely. And again, if it has worked wonders for me, it might not work for you, okay? But at least you have something tangible that you can hold on to. Because you see, if some of the methods you're using now are not working, all right, just feel free and be open to use other strategies and methods on how to close deals and to finally become a freelancer without little to zero experience the right way. So once again, guys, this is a wrap. My name is Jameer Angelo. This is Nothing But Up the Podcast, episode 26. Peace, y'all.
I'm always flexing.
Thanks for tuning in. Download this episode and pass on the news. Hit like and subscribe. Watch out for our next episode coming out next.